Hey everybody, welcome to UpUrXP podcast. We're on episode 25, and today we're going to talk exclusively about New World. And with me today, we have Boss
Yo.
and we have Buzz. Oh no. Did you speak? You
He
muted
did
yourself.
speak.
You muted yourself in the clean feed, dude. I need you. It says muted themselves. I need you to unmute your. There we
What's
go.
up, dude?
Now they can
You
now
have to
hear you.
redo it now.
Congratulations, you did it. You did it. You made it here.
He's here.
Here, dude.
You know, it involved you reading, which is I know something you don't like to do. Which
I hate it. I avoid it at all costs.
which is why that's the story of why he doesn't check his email, boss, because he'd have to read it.
Because he doesn't like reading?
Oh yeah, bro.
That's
You're-
it?
So,
Yeah.
boss, have you ever played it? Have you ever found yourself playing a game, and it gives you this massive "fu" pop-up window of text, and you're like, "Get out of here with that shit," and you just close the text, even though it was probably helpful. You ever do that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's called story games. Anyways, continue.
Yeah. That's what Blaze is making fun of me for.
No, no,
We
no.
were
Oh,
playing a game
oh, no,
where it
no,
was
no, no, no.
crucial to read that shit, and I
Okay.
said nah.
Blaze
And
is
then-
saying no. I'm intrigued.
He-
and then
he
5
legitimately-
seconds later, I literally asked, "Yo, guys, what am I supposed to do right here?" They're like, "Did you read the thing?" I said, "Absolutely not." What do you thought?
So this man expects me to be to enable him to not read.
Yes, absolutely.
No, absolutely
Being
not.
the educator you are, you're
this
supposed
man-
to handhold me.
It was like
Listen.
it was like a typical tutorial thing in Monster Hunter, and he's like, "Yo, what am I supposed to do?" And I'm like, "Bro, it's like in the tutorial." And he's like,
No,
What
it's-
tutorial?
he's like,
This
"No, I
is-
didn't read that."
This story specifically is Monster Hunter, but absolutely is it not exclusive to Monster
Oh no,
Hunter.
no,
I've
this is
done
every
in
game.
every
Like,
game.
yeah, this like MMOs. You're like, oh, and he's like, "Man, am I supposed to go over here?" And it's like, "Did you read the quest?" And he's like, "Nah, dude, I didn't read nothing."
I
You
gotta
sound
tell
like you'd be a lot of fun to be in a guild that, like, writes out, like, the rules for raids and, like, what you need to do. And you get to a certain boss phase, and they're like, how come you didn't fucking do the thing? And he's like, huh?
No, you
like,
know the best
What,
part
what was
about
I
that?
supposed to do?
No, he'll watch a video.
No,
No,
won't
but I
watch
mean,
a
like,
video
if they
anymore.
write it out.
I don't watch a video anymore. Actually, Blaze, it's trial and error. If I do the mechanic, I do it for the rest of the time. If I mess it up, I never mess it up again.
Oh my god, dude, here we go. Here we go. Trial by
No,
fire. All right.
I can literally tell you that's how it went for me in the past year playing other MMOs with raids. I
Oh
literally
my
would mess up a
God.
mechanic,
I mean, that's-
never mess it up again.
That's how me and my raid group used to learn Destiny raids. We hated looking up videos and tutorials for Destiny raids because we thought
Yeah.
it took away from the experience.
Oh yeah, I mean, I get that. 100%.
Dude, you have no idea how long it took for me to fully grasp what azoth costs were.
Because he
No
didn't
idea.
read, boss.
Because
Because
I
he
didn't
didn't
read
read.
them.
Because he
And
didn't
the
read.
best part about the azoth cost one is it's like it says it in such short, concise verbiage.
I know, it's like
And I
half
just
a
refuse.
sentence.
Yeah,
I refuse.
it's 5 words, and that was too much. If it's
Is,
not,
is that
if it's
yellow
not,
text on my screen? Get that shit out of here.
Why use lot word when few word do trick?
this man.
Me
if-
caveman brain.
If it's not being read to him, he don't need to know it.
Okay.
If it's not being explained to him,
Anyways.
he doesn't need to know it. All right.
We're talking about New World, right?
Yeah. Supposedly.
Yeah.
Sure.
And I guess we should start off with kind of, I guess, the new player experience. So basically, like what leveling, what gathering is like, what you need to gather, what you should be paying attention to early on, crafting, and then exploration. And
Yeah.
I think really like the first, I would say like 15 to 20 levels like move by pretty quick. At least I felt that way during. I think I felt that way about the first like 14 levels, and then I felt like it kind of slowed down a little bit during the beta.
If you do side quests and like town board quests and faction quests on the way, then it goes by pretty quick.
Yeah, I think the first 20 levels is
Um,
pretty smooth. Oh my god, words.
Schmoovin.
Smoothin'. There we go.
It's not
You do
smoothin',
be
it's
schmoovin'.
schmoovin'.
But I think what
CH,
also.
CH
Oh,
Blaze.
yeah.
CH.
Yeah.
I'm not leaving this until you get it right.
Okay.
No,
Blaise,
Schmoove
say
it.
that-
Schmoove it.
say-
Okay, schmoovin'. All right.
There
we're
we go.
good.
Schmoove
Alright.
it. There it is.
All right. And along with doing those side quests, the town boards, the faction quests, which you get at level 9, and then you should pick Covenant, because if you don't praise the
You're
sun.
bad.
And I don't know what
It's
to think
stupid
other than
and
that.
dumb and
No.
fake.
Don't pick Covenant, so that because you're not worshipping the sun, we smite you from the earth.
Yeah. That sounds good. I'm down for that.
Yeah. That one.
Alright.
Yeah.
For sure.
And then you should be gathering, which also gives you XP, and then you should be crafting, which also gives you XP.
Yeah, you guys ever leveled up from digging a rock?
Yes.
Because I have.
I have.
Here,
I was like,
brought you
oh
this
wait,
rock.
I mined a rock and I hit level 19. Cool. Anyways.
That's the guy that does 99.5% of an XP bar and then just mines a rock. Be like, oh, I hit it off of mining a rock.
Big facts. What do you guys want to chime in on here?
Gathering. I would say there is not there's. I can't emphasize enough the necessity to gather. Like, you'll have your main quests that you'll be doing. You'll go all over the place to do. I don't know exactly if during the beta that I played, because I played the 2-week closed, not the most recent open. I don't know exactly if it's as few quests as I experienced, like if they only opened up a portion of them. But if it is, it's going to be more along the lines of every single time you're in a town, pick up every single town board quest. If it says, they'll typically take you all over the zone, which is good for your exploration. You get other nodes. Sometimes you'll find a fast travel shrine, which is actually extremely helpful.
It is.
And you want to be doing that as much as you can. And in doing that, you also want to be gathering. If you see herbs, pick hemp. Every single time you see that purple budded plant, pick the hemp.
Yeah.
Because you use
Oh
it
my
for
god, you
everything.
need so much hemp, dude. You use it for making bags, light armor, even medium armor, right? You use hemp?
You use it on heavy too.
Yeah.
Do you use it on heavy?
It's used on everything.
Used on everything.
Then you literally use it on everything.
I farmed like 3,000 hemp in the span of an hour. I was out of it in 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
That
want
sounds
to
about right.
make sure to get that. Make sure you're skinning. For sure. Rocks, trees. I mean, really everything, but hemp is the big one.
So, from what I found on, I did this on the open beta, so like the 3-4 day long open beta. I was like really going into like see like little like nitpicky things on gathering and stuff and like leveling up your trades, I guess. And the biggest thing I saw is that in the level 0 through 20 zones, like your first 4 starting zones, level everything up to level 50. Everything needs to be level 50 by the time you move out of those zones, because especially logging especially.
Yep.
Because the higher level zones you go, you will stop seeing young trees altogether, and there will only be mature trees, which you need to be level 50 to chop.
Level 50
And
logging.
Level 50 logging. So make sure you do that. There'll also be like more gold and silver. And like more at least commoner nodes. In those higher areas, and just like a lot more higher level resources. So just make sure you can dig all those before going up to an area, I guess.
I was gonna say, also make sure you're picking up like the different animals that you can hunt. It's like the turkeys, the boars. Like, make sure you're getting those. So not only can you skin them and get their different materials, but also make sure that you're able to craft like rations and things of that nature.
Yeah,
because they're kind of huge.
rations are really good for like open world leveling. Yeah.
And
when
then
you eat food, you don't stop regenerating your health until you take damage, so it also helps with that too. If you're good at avoiding like random trash mob damage.
it's definitely just really good. And then we talked about crafting like pre-podcast, but like we were talking about, like Buzz brought up, make sure you're trying to craft the cheapest things that you possibly can to get your level up as
For the
fast as you
highest amount
can.
of XP.
That way you're getting the most XP, like most bang for your buck. Like make sure you're being smarter with your crafting.
Yeah.
And crafting is pretty intricate in New World. And I've really enjoyed it. I think it's pretty good. I like all the different elements of it. There's plenty of different things to craft. I think it opens up a lot of availability to your crafters and gatherers that other games don't necessarily have. Also, the fishing's sick. Fishing is muy bueno.
Fishing's fun, yeah.
Currently at this point, with all the alpha testing that's been done, with all the beta testing that's been done, every known best in-slot gear for either PvE or PvP, it all comes from crafting.
Yeah.
That being said, some guilds are funneling all of their materials into single people just so that they have like one person that gets to it as fast as possible.
Mm-hmm.
Other guilds are making alliances and they're just going to have an entire guild that crafts. And then all the other guilds are composed of actual like PvP players that will defend all of their like this crafting table, that crafting table. Because when you have a control, when your faction has a control of a zone, any crafting table that's in the town of that zone, your faction, or rather the guild that owns it, they get to decide which bench levels up faster. Typically, you want your gathering ones leveled up at like a similar speed. It varies. It depends on what a guild wants, but it's definitely crucial to get as much of the crafting as you can in, especially if you're a solo player. That's what I experienced most of it as. I would have to be very self-sufficient, and I got my craftings. By the time I was near max level, I caught all of my craftings up to my level in like the span of 2 days. So it's really not hard if you kind of can figure out what to look for. And I mean, there's already guides for crafting as well.
Yeah, there is. And we'll have some of that linked in the description because we're going to talk a little bit about weapons at some point, I'm sure. But do we want to touch anything else with crafting before we move on to like exploration?
No, I think we covered everything.
So I think
bags and tools cannot be ignored.
No, you need them. They're so good.
You need your engineering leveled up.
You can get a perk on your tools to have a random chance to farm an azoth. A single azoth feels so weak and soft until you get every single tool with that perk. And it's not hard to roll it.
No, it's not.
And it got to a point where, like, if I was killing animals for skinning and harvesting it with the sickle that had the perk, sometimes I would get 10 azoth from the monster and then 1 azoth from the farm. And sometimes that would happen twice in a row. So now I'm netting 22 instead of just 20. Which, like, it seems slow, but
it builds up
over time. The rate you kill things, exactly. The rate you kill things for all your bounties, it's really worth it.
And the rate that you harvest stuff, like, you know, like, when you're harvesting stuff with the sickle, there's usually, like, big nodes of it. So, like, I think I had the azoth one on my sickle in the open beta. And, like, I was just going, like, a hemp hunting spree because I needed a lot. And I got, like, an easy, like, 20-30 azoth just off of going to get something I already needed. So, it's, like, it's a really nice little bonus that you can pick up.
And do we want to talk about azoth now, since we brought it up?
We can talk about it later.
Okay.
Because it's literally going to be in everything, so we might just cover it as we go.
Yeah. So I think one of the unique things about New World is like the exploration mechanic and like how you build up a zone, like for yourself. Like you have an XP for the zone, and then you get to trait into like mining faster, extra experience, less tax on the market, so on and so forth. I don't remember. I think there's like 6 or 7 attributes you can choose from over time.
You always do gathering speed.
Gathering speed's sick.
And storage.
But along with that, your company, right? I don't think it's anything above the company, right? It's just the company that can secure a township. Is that right?
So, so when your faction has enough support in said zone to declare war, the highest contributing company that support gets domain over the war, and they get to fill the roster. Anyone can sign up for said war. Doesn't matter to your level, which for early players, sign up for every single, like, number one thing I would say to do is run everywhere. As soon as, like, you feel like, all right, you know what, screw it, I'm just gonna get everywhere now. Because the more wars you can sign up for, like, even if you aren't the main contributor to it, you get huge, like, you get almost an entire level per war, and sometimes they only last 10 minutes.
Yeah, and it's a lot of gold too, if you win.
It's like 500-ish gold, but the thing that got me interested in signing up for every war was 500 azoth. And you have a 1,000 cap.
Ooh, I didn't know it gives that. Oh, wow. That's half of your azoth cap. That's actually sick.
Yeah.
So that pays for you fast traveling to get to the war.
Exactly. Yep. It pays for more than that. Because even if it's a territory you don't own, I rarely ever spent more than like 200 azoth.
Yeah, I'm sure it's like 300 azoth to get from like maybe Cutlass Keys to the top right of the map. It's like bottom left to top left, or top right of the map. I bet you it's like 300, 350 azoths maybe. So like, even then you're making a 150 profit, which is always worth.
Along with that, we probably want to mention like having where your home is and where your brain work. Your home and your inn. Yeah.
You always want your inn to be in a zone you don't own.
Yeah.
Reason being is because you can pull from any stash that is faction owned by your faction. So let's say you're Sunbro, and you're in the middle of the map. I think it's like, I can't remember the name of the zone.
Brightwood?
No, that's north. But anyway, you're in the middle of the map, and the zone to your north is owned by your faction, but the one you're in, is owned by purple. Well, if all your stuff is in the zone to the north, the stash in the zone to the north, you can pull it from the bank in the purple zone because you own the stash to the north. Your faction owns it. But if you were in the stash to the north and you had a lot of stuff in the purple zone and you were not purple, you can't pull anything from that purple zone.
Yeah.
It stays there.
Which is why...
Go ahead.
Oh, God. Which is why I feel like you should level up storage in areas you know is going to be controlled by your faction.
Yeah.
Because that's where you're going to be storing most of your stuff, since you can transfer everything in between there.
There are some absolute Chad lads out there that have leveled to max level in 80 hours.
Oh.
And that was post XP nerf.
Yeah, I was gonna say the open beta people hit level cap.
Yeah.
In that 3-day span, so like I don't think they lowered the player progression from town quests, but like there are other methods of player progression to get to max level quickly. To be fair, those people also like no-lifed it and played for like what, 30 or 40
Literally
hours.
80 hours straight.
Yeah.
Or not 80 hours straight, but yeah.
They played like 30 or 40 hours, then went to sleep, and then got back on and did another like 30.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's still a long time to get there, but but I guess we'll have to see tomorrow as far as like if they change anything else. I don't know.
Yeah, for sure.
There's a few things, like, so this kind of leads into dungeons in a way.
Yeah.
I discovered that dungeons have repeatable quests. The
I was just
repeatable
gonna bring that
quest,
up. Yeah.
the repeatable quest gives you pretty much a level.
So much XP.
And not to mention the fact that like there's a quest that leads you to the dungeon, then there's the quest that you do in the dungeon normally, and you can pick that up alongside the repeatable quest.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha.
Make
Yeah,
sure
like
you do those as much as you can.
Oh yeah, like if you're just like hard leveling, I think the Amarine, the Barkamini's the
Yeah.
wolf, right? You get it from him.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
repeatable quest gives you like half a level if you're like level 25 every time you do it or something like that.
Yeah, and then the dungeon itself will give you the other half of the level.
Yeah, the other half.
Um,
And I think I've seen people say that like you should do that up to level 35 and then continue the main story to unlock the next dungeon or something like that.
Yeah, when you unlock the next dungeon, because the dungeon will always stay the same similar level. Like your damage kind of scales down, but
Yeah.
because the monsters are staying the same level, you're gonna be getting nerfed XP.
Yeah.
So you absolutely do want to switch dungeons the moment you can.
Yeah.
However, the second dungeon is ass.
Yeah, I've heard it's BS to do.
It is a trip. They do not handhold you. So like the first dungeon, it's very self-explanatory. There's one path to go.
Blah, blah,
You do the path. You activate this or that, the other, and then you go through. The second dungeon, you have to figure out how to do laser puzzles. The lasers insta kill you.
Oh.
So, I don't know if they fixed it. Hopefully they did.
They're not supposed to insta kill you.
Some of the lasers would not show. So you had to hope and pray that the laser wasn't there.
Dude, I love getting shot by invisible lasers, though. That's the move.
On the other hand, there were lasers that showed that weren't there.
Oh, sick, dude.
So if there's some way to get through, you had to gamble on which laser was fake.
Well, so pretty much in at least the first couple areas of that dungeon, the second one, there was always a path that you could take without having to go through any of the laser sections. It's just you can also fall to your death if you miss a jump.
Yeah.
So that's also another thing to keep in mind.
I like to call that a fun time.
Fun interactive experience,
yeah.
Mind you, it's completely worth it though. If not just for the XP, the early game weapons. So like most people will level the game through their Covenant gear.
Right. Right.
You do, to get the most Covenant points, you do need to PvP.
Yeah.
Which isn't necessarily PvP. It's just you need to be flagged and then
you need to be flagged
quests
and then,
while flagged.
Yeah.
And you do get bonus XP for being flagged.
That is also true.
So
a lot of people will be doing that just for the bonus XP.
Yeah, they won't really be looking to fight anyone. They'll just be doing it for the faction points and the XP.
Right. Okay. Do we want to go further than that with dungeons, or we want to move on to player ran market?
I'd say we've kind of covered everything in dungeons. It's definitely worth, regardless of how bad it can be. Like, when you run them once or twice, you'll kind of have everything ingrained because of how many times you either fail or the fact that you ran it once or twice.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so I guess player ran market we can talk about in like two different capacities, right? Like it's a player ran trading post, and that you can list things for whatever you feel like they're worth, and then hopefully eventually you get lower, like people put the same item, lower price, so on and so forth. But along with that, there's also like taxes that can be put on the crafting stations as well by the mayor of the town.
Yeah.
And that makes things pretty interesting. I think a player-ran economy works well in several MMOs. Like you see it in ESO, and it works fairly well there. I think it makes the experience more interesting. Now, the difference between ESO and New World is like it's not a shop that you have to like go up to and like see what guild owns it or whatever person owns it. It's literally you go up to the auction house and, search the items that you're looking for and say, man, is this worth my gold or not?
Yeah.
Also, in the player auction house thing, it will automatically default, as far as I know. I never messed with the actual settings to figure out if you can change the default, but it'll automatically default to whatever's on the trading post for that town.
Yeah.
You can select an option so that you can see the global trading post. Not global as in like across server, global as in around the entire map.
But you can't buy from any other city, right? Except the
you
one
can
that
buy it. It goes to the stash in that city. So you'll then have to either
you have to run to the city. Yeah.
You'll either have to run to the city, teleport to the city, or if your covenant owns it, you can just
grab it. Yeah.
Yep.
Gotcha. Yeah, as a solo player, I didn't really mess with the player end market too much in the beta since I usually crafted everything I needed.
Yeah,
I mean,
made money off of it.
I would say I used it for like buying hemp and then doing my crafting and then selling stuff.
Ah, yes, buying hemp.
Yeah, buying hemp, so I didn't have to.
Imagine not just harvesting it.
Yeah, imagine not doing that. That's crazy.
Man, it's pretty soft.
It is. I mean, to be fair, I was just trying to see how things were going. I don't need this from you. Moving on. I don't think there's anything else really to add about that. I think it kind of covers it.
I think it's gonna be sick. I think it's
cool.
gonna be a really cool system.
I'm curious to see how like the mayors and stuff work. Yeah. It definitely makes things a bit more interesting. No, I agree. Like there is no like that's what people need to make sure they understand is like there's no vendors. Just the trading post.
Yeah, you can't sell random trash or like I got this sword that's like level 1, but I'm level 10. Let me sell it to a merchant, and you dismantle it.
Yep.
Yeah.
It go bye-bye.
Actually,
or you put it in your stash to never be looked at again. One of the two.
Yeah, you can dismantle.
You can dismantle.
Yeah.
I'm going crazy. Sorry.
But dismantle doesn't give you mats. It gives you.
It do.
Does it?
It do. Yeah.
It do.
It do. That's where salvage parts come from.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Depending on the level, it might not.
That's true.
Like if there's a huge difference
between
your level and the weapon that you get.
Yeah, it just gives like a no. You're right. I was thinking of something else.
Yeah.
And then, so for like if you're running around exploring, there's also corrupted zones, which are pretty interesting. They're almost like, I don't want to say they're like the what are those things called on ESO? The Dolomens. The Dolomens, is that what they're called?
Yeah.
They're not like the Dolomens in the sense of like they spawn on a cooldown and you use them to farm a ton of XP. I'm sure there is some type of cooldown, but like I don't think it's worth it to try to use azoth to get to each one.
It's not.
And they're like an interesting like little grouped area to do like a group fight, clear the corruption, and then move on. They do give decent XP. It also is like sick how it transforms the environment. Like it's a really cool mechanic.
It is sick. What were the little like mini objectives that you would see when you're running through a zone in Destiny 2? What were those called?
Public events.
Yeah.
Yeah, public events. It's kind of like those.
It's that. Yeah.
Also, the kind of touching back, but also not really. In order to get into the dungeon, you actually need a key. Parts of the keys that you have to craft are from the like high-tiered corrupted events.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's a nice change of pace.
They're worth farming for a lot of different reasons. Like you get a nice chunk of azoth from them. You get like 20 per minor gate, and then you get like 50 for the major gate. You also get a loot box per gate you close, and then you get a big loot box when you're killing the big one.
Yep.
Yeah, and there's other events that go along with that. I think there's also like instance corrupted bosses as well, if I remember right, but I don't remember off the top of my head. There was something, I forgot what it's called though. I didn't put it in the notes, but
I think that's the PvE war.
Is it the PvE war? No, I thought there was like
Yes.
5-man instance corrupted boss fights.
They are the dungeons.
Is it just the dungeons? I thought there was something separate.
I don't
do
think
not
so.
believe so.
I thought
Not
there
from what I've
was.
played.
Interesting. Maybe that could have been something previously
It
in the
might be
game that
something
got changed.
I just didn't play.
Well, it could have been something
Yeah.
previously in the game that got changed as well. I mean, that's 100% possible.
Mr. Alpha Man.
Yeah, we don't need to talk about that. It's fun. There is war. There's a PvE war where you like defend your zone, like your faction's zone, right?
Yeah.
And then like there is PvP war, where you sign up to go against another faction and take their stuff.
Yep.
Buzz, you played in this because like in the beta you had to be.
both of them. They were a time.
Yeah.
The PvE war. Just don't do it till you're max level. Like you can get into them at level 50, but
Get to level 60.
get to level 60, or you're just not going to have. You'll have fun. It'll be cool, but you'll do one and be like, man, I'd rather do this at 60.
Yeah.
Because everything
like
is just like a sponge, right? From what I've heard.
Exactly. Everything is a sponge, and like the player damage itself is actually not what you want. You want to be using the siege that's all over the towers, which you level up from doing like the daily town board mission boards. So that's one thing about the mission boards. It's like there's 4 sections on the mission board. There's 3 missions for each. The one is upgrade this crafting table.
Yeah.
Next one is upgrade fort defenses, which are used in the war and both wars, PvE and PvP.
Mm-hmm.
Then it's like raise your rep by a marginal higher amount, and then I forget what the 4th one is. I think it just has to do with pretty much your own crafting.
Okay, I thought it was the loot cart for a second. I might be wrong though.
But can we also talk about the fact of like why it's important to hold your zone, like in the sense of like you want to make sure you're holding the zone because you level the crafting stations, and if you lose the war, does the level just get dropped, or does it go back to level 1? I'm not sure.
So the level drops when the owning company cannot pay the upkeep for said tables.
Yeah.
And the higher the table, the higher the level of the table, the more money it takes to maintain it. Same thing with the fort upgrades. The higher level your fort, the more money it costs to. And that's why some companies, like, they'll have low tax rates in the early game. But
that's going to go up.
When they get, like, 5 tier 5 crafting tables, you might see a tax hike. And then you might go, hey, maybe I don't stay here anymore.
Yeah.
Well, the issue with that is you can get multiple crafting, like tier 5 crafting stations around the whole world, but the issue is if all of your stuff is in the stash, do you really want to relocate all of your stash materials to somewhere else?
Yeah, because your stash is like to
Yeah,
that
because
locale.
if it's not owned by your faction, you are gonna have a rough time.
Yeah. Like,
it's a ton. Like I did that one time during closed beta where I moved all of my stuff from one place to another.
Yeah. But to answer the question directly, that's how the stuff de-levels. It's just when the company decides to lower the taxes no matter what. Like we saw that at the end of beta, really. We didn't see that early on in the beta. Because at the end, all the companies are like, screw it. Let's let everything deteriorate. Because the likelihood of them pushing another upgrade was really small.
Yeah. I guess while we're on the topic of crafting tables and leveling them up and stuff, depending on the server you're on and depending on how hardcore it is, basically if there's any big streamers on it or any big guilds planning on doing stuff in it, you might not see a high level crafting table for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, it might be a hot
I
minute.
had that experience in the open beta when I was trying to focus on crafting a lot more than I did in the closed beta. It was a rough time because the entire time I was looking for like I think like a level 3, level 4 workbench, and
Couldn't find
like
one.
no one had one,
Yeah.
and I was like, damn, this is rough.
Yeah, and that's
Well,
one of
for
the
the
things.
open
Like,
beta, it might have also been that it was just a 3-day thing, and those things just take days to complete.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, then
So it
along
might
with
have
But
just
I
that,
been
mean,
a thing where-
I think even in like the early weeks of like maybe lower populated servers, you'll run into that issue.
True, true.
yeah.
So
Well, I don't think there's. I
that's
don't know.
just to be
We'll see.
something to be wary of.
We'll see how many lower populated servers there are.
That's
I have a
true.
feeling that there's going to be pretty stacked for the first couple weeks.
So
Yeah.
for like the closed beta, pretty much every single server did not have a population issue.
Yeah.
Like they were all populated.
Oh,
And
for sure.
For the open beta, it was 3 days, so I'm kind of considering it with a grain of salt, essentially, as to why they weren't necessarily leveled very quickly. But I could definitely see now that launch is coming and things like nothing's going to be reset. So people
Yeah,
are going
I
to
mean-
take it a lot more seriously.
I mean, I did. I played like a little bit of the open just to see like how it felt with some of the changes, and then I immediately uninstalled it. I was like, I'm just gonna wait for launch. And
Yeah.
that's something against the
that's
game.
Mainly, yeah.
I just didn't want to put a bunch of time in when we're 2.5 weeks away from launch. It just didn't make sense.
Oh
to
yeah.
me.
Yeah, I can see that 100%. I think I only got up to like level 20 in the
Yeah.
in the open beta.
I mean, I have people that I haven't gamed with in a long time that are picking up New World and like looking to game. So.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about Azoth a little bit. Azoth is you're capped on Azoth. There's a variety of ways to get it. We've talked about some of them. And along with that, it's used to fast travel.
And
So like
Yeah.
reset your weapon skills.
yes,
trees.
and reset your weapons and your level
And
skill
your
tree, right?
yeah, your
No,
attribute
your
skill tree.
attributes is gold.
Okay,
Oh yeah,
attributes
yeah,
is gold.
okay, yeah.
Okay,
That is cool.
so like you reset weapon attributes and you fast travel with it. Like we talked about earlier, it's not necessarily hard to come by, but like
In the
you'll
Late
lose
game,
it.
it's a
beginning, you'll
joke to
be-
come by.
In
Like
the
late game,
beginning,
it's
you'll feel sad.
Yeah,
yeah.
and-
Late
you're
game,
gonna feel,
it's so easy to come by.
you're gonna be super sad, but eventually
Yeah.
it will get better.
When you get to around level 20, so like there's a few things that I was seeing. It's like mobs that are higher level than you have a higher chance of just giving you 10 Azoth on kill.
Mm-hmm.
That also kind of incentivizes going into a higher level zone to do your quests.
Yeah.
Mainly because of that fact alone. It's like, oh, I mean, I could do all these lower level quests, get a little XP, less XP, but I'll steamroll through them. Or I could maybe do this harder shit and get a little bit more reward for it as well. Not to mention the fact that fast traveling will be a breeze with it too.
Right.
I will say with the Azoth, the moment you hit level 40, go to the level 40 zone. Do it.
Yes.
Do not delay. One, it's beautiful. It's a beautiful zone. It's a snow biome. I love it.
And there's a lot of resources up there, like a
There's
shit ton.
a assload of resources up there. And 3, it's just it has so many quests all around the zone.
Mm-hmm.
I was low. I went into it the moment I hit 40. I wish I didn't. I wish I went in it when I hit 38, which is like the earliest you can kind of, depending on like how many people you have. If you have more people, you could probably stretch it a little further, like 37, go up there. But if you're solo, I even recommend, and like you can handle yourself with your weapons and everything. I recommend going at like level 38.
38, yeah.
Because the quests just give you so much more. The mob like archetypes are for the most part the same. Like some will be a little different. Some are gonna look way scarier than they are.
Yeah.
But
Stone bears.
it's definite.
Dude, can we talk
Hotel
about
vets.
can we talk about just regular bears for a second in the early game?
No.
Oh
So,
my
like,
god, no, absolutely not.
Bears are no. You cannot talk
No.
about the bears. That is something that everyone has to experience. on their own.
Experience, yep. That's
Just-
why all I said is stone bears.
Okay, all I have to
And
say
we're
is
leaving it at that.
just think of Winnie the Pooh and you'll be fine.
Yes.
That is
Yeah.
Mm.
That, no. Yeah. No. Do
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
Do it. Do
yeah,
it.
yeah.
And
All
then
the-
remember Blaze is
sure.
remember Blaze
Yeah.
is the one that told you.
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
yeah,
Just
yeah,
remember
yeah.
even in the
Okay, yeah,
game.
yeah. That's
Just-
I'm good with that. Yeah.
Just remember that you have the only problem is you have the pot of honey.
And Winnie the Pooh is a very
And-
angry boy.
Yeah.
Who also got his hands on some crack.
I mean he spells honey Hunny, okay? He don't play.
And you have his honey, man.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, he might spell it Huney now that I think about it.
I was about to say.
I think it does, yeah.
Okay, either which way, it ain't good. Okay, you get it. You get what I'm saying. One thing I wanted to touch on because we haven't talked about it, and it's a very like minor detail in the sense of like everything we're talking about with like going through the game. I do want to mention how good the sound quality is in the game for all the different
Oh.
actions. Like,
Absolutely.
The sound
The
Mining
OST
is
game,
amazing.
OST
Like, it's
is
so
great
good.
as well.
Like
Yeah.
it's just so good. Like
Oh, I
the
gotta look up who it was.
the attention to detail on the audio is just like so good. I was chopping
Yeah.
trees one night during closed beta and I was a little bit tired and I almost put myself asleep just like chopping trees and it started raining and I was like about to go to bed.
Yeah.
Like
I
it's
think
it's
the
just very
only-
calming.
The only issue I had with the audio for the game wasn't in the actual design itself. There was a bug
Yeah.
that would like make your audio super choppy, but it was super easy to fix. You just go into your inventory and then come out, and it's fixed.
Oh,
So it
I
wasn't
don't
that big a deal. But,
You know what bug I don't know if they fixed? Were you there like the first time I streamed it for closed beta and I switched to so they like what was it? Borderless window or they only have window. They didn't have borderless window and like then it wouldn't let me switch back to full screen. And like it screwed up the picture. And I had to wait like 3 hours into playing for the servers to have died down so I could log out and log back in to fix it.
Yeah, but that was a you problem, and I
It
was
was.
laughing at you the whole time.
Yeah, I mean it was just funny. I wonder if that got
It
fixed.
was really
though.
good for me.
Yeah.
I
Quality
don't
content.
know.
Is there anything? Do you want to talk about solo player experience versus?
Oh, here you go. I got him.
Here we
found
go.
him.
Wait, who do we find?
What?
One of the composers for the OST.
Oh, okay.
He worked on like Game of Thrones, Marvel's Eternals,
Yeah.
Pacific
Oh
Rim.
my God. Okay.
Yep. He worked on
Hold on.
Iron Man, the Blade movies,
Uh,
Dracula Untold. Like he worked
speaking
on a
of,
lot
like,
of stuff.
Yeah. Speaking on like the devs for this game, Blaze, you remember you were telling me like the lead designer, of like Wizard 101.
No,
Change
different
in the
game.
world.
Different game. Different game.
Oh, was
Not
it
this
different game?
Yep, different
Which
game.
one was it?
We don't want to talk about it. Buzz hates that game.
Oh, okay.
We don't need Buzz to go on. We don't need Buzz to go on a rant about Crowfall right now. Okay. This
Oh,
is a,
was it
Somebody
Crowfall? Oh,
say-
okay.
Crowfall.
I like how he wasn't bothered at all by Wizard 101.
Yeah, that was a great game.
Yeah, it's a great
Objectively
game.
Better than Crowfall.
Oh my god, here we go, dude. All right, solo player
Blaze-
And it
experience.
has
Moving on.
paywalls.
It does have
True.
paywalls. We're gonna get that. We might have some paywalls here too, but that's fine. So,
Don't let them know that they
Shush.
can do that.
Shoot.
So solo player experience. I mean, I played a good bit solo. Buzz, you played a good bit solo. Boss, I think you
I
did
played
too.
all of it solo.
It's pretty good. Like it's doable. It feels pretty good. It doesn't feel terrible. It doesn't make you feel like you have to be in a group.
And there's gonna be a lot of
yeah.
This is what I would say about the solo experience. You will get like there is just no way around it. You will get comfortable going to the town board, picking up everything on the town board, doing your lap around the entire zone. and then whatever you finish in a half hour, which is how long it takes for the bounties to update on the town board, because they're on 30-minute cycles. Whatever you finish in the half hour, you go turn in, you recall your inn, you go turn it in. Whatever you don't finish, you abandon it and just pick up new shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You will get so into that rhythm, and you will get that rhythm down pat, that you will neglect moving to a new zone when you out level your current one.
Can speak for that. Yep.
Keep in mind your level.
Yes.
Recognize the enemy levels and go, you know what? I got this. Move to the next zone.
Yep.
Yeah, you know what? This is some baby shit. I'm an alpha. I shouldn't be doing this.
Alright. Let's not get ahead of ourselves there. The Bears disagree.
Yeah, the Bears disagree. And not the Chicago Bears. The Bears.
The Bears
in the
are
game.
not happy.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, did somebody say sports ball?
I did. I spoke sports ball for a second.
Ball.
Ugh, you have a sports ball shirt on, and it's making me...
I do have a sports ball shirt.
This is an anti-sports ball podcast, Blaze. I'm gonna need you to calm that
okay.
down. Jeez.
Well, all right. I'm gonna need you to calm.
as the podcast runner,
as the person,
ball.
yeah, as the person that made the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Blaze, I don't know if you've noticed, but me and Jurah are taking over. This is
Oh,
our
okay.
podcast now.
True.
Okay.
Yeah. You thought I was
sick.
guesting.
Oh, okay. My job just got easier. Sick. I just take credit for y'all do that. I mean,
there you go.
that's what
That's one way to look at it.
that's what Bezos does.
Well, there.
So I mean, I'm on the right track, right?
Whoa. I thought you were
We're
a
playing
New World. I thought you were a New World like sponsored creator.
I am. It's crazy.
You can't speak
And you're just gonna
poorly
talk about stuff like
Papa
that.
Bezos. How dare
Papa
you?
I'm not knocking Papa Bezos. I'm just saying now Papa Bezos can take credit for other people's stuff because he's Papa Bezos.
Bro, you can't be saying that.
Think about it, right? He went to space.
Okay.
He went to space.
Yeah,
Sort
he's
of.
an
Yeah.
astronaut. He's
Right?
an astronaut, bro. How dare you talk to him?
Astronaut Bezos.
Astrozos. All right, moving on. We're
No,
just
yeah.
On that note,
yeah.
I'm revoking your memer card. Get out of here.
What's our expectation for microtransactions? Because this was a big heated debate after they took away all the time PvP, because it happened around the same time as far as announcements where they're like, hey, we're gonna give people ways to speed up their progression, and some people really didn't like that. And I've talked about pay to win a couple times in the podcast in the sense of really and truly, if it's cosmetic items, that's not pay to win. I don't care. As long as they're not giving you some type of stat stick that gives you extra damage, I think you're okay. If you want to help people progress to the end game faster, I think that should not be happening in the first few months of the game. But every MMO has some form of level boost, and I expect that to be in New World at some point, just not at launch.
So I don't care if it's an XP boost.
Yeah,
that's fine.
I'll get it myself if it's an XP boost.
Yeah.
The only thing, and what I'll say to that note is, and why I don't mind is, I think I hinted on it, or I said it, the best in-slot gear for PvP and PvE is crafted.
Yeah. And crafting takes time.
Crafting takes a lot of time. Also, materials.
Yep, the materials take a lot of time.
And the armor perks are the reason why. So when you craft gear, you have to have a specific item to get a perk roll, a guaranteed perk roll.
Right.
Yeah.
You can't just buy that. You can, I'm sure you can buy it off of the player auction house, but if you're just speed leveling, you're still not going to have that craft XP, which they might give you an XP potion for that as well. And if that's the case, fine. I'm fine with that.
I don't really think I have an issue with it. With how long it takes to level in the game, I mean, I would like not to see it at launch. I would like not to see it at launch.
With how long the non-XP grind takes to level in the game.
Yes. But I'm saying I don't...
You're not one of those sweaty, like ultra gamer juiced up people.
Yeah.
Like we're gonna be in the first week.
Yeah, exactly. Like I'm gonna be tomorrow because I have off.
I was supposed to have off tomorrow, but
It's okay.
COVID.
I'll game for you.
Uh,
I'll play twice as much.
I think most of the things for microtransactions, I think we're going to see skins. We saw some in the closed beta.
Yeah, it's like a Viking skin that was in the closed beta.
Yeah, they're actually giving us a Twitch Prime pack at launch tomorrow, and then
full of cosmetics. Yeah,
and on October 11th we're getting one too. Oh, but they're full skin sets.
Yeah, they actually do look really nice.
I mean, and you could use a Twitch Prime right now at twitch.tv/BlaiseMcBaine.
Here we go. Dude. Look at this guy. Look at this guy promoting on his own podcast, dude.
Crazy,
what a
dude.
fucking wow. Insane, dude. The nerve of this guy.
Along with that, there are going to be Twitch drops for weapons tomorrow, and the weapons actually look pretty sick.
Oh, they look sick. And they're like they have this like prismatic look to them, and they just look awesome.
Yeah.
I'm going in as a pleb. I'm just having the base. Nah, who am I kidding? I'm buying everything. Fuck it.
Yeah, I mean, I'll probably too. So that's kind of where we're at. That covers the last two topics. I guess I'll mention this here. If you don't have New World and you're questioning on getting New World, I'm giving a copy away on stream over the course of the next week. And if I hit another sub goal, I'll be giving a second copy away. So if you are trying to win a copy of New World, you should come check out the stream and see what's going on, see if the game's for you or not, or try to get a free copy.
Hit that follow button. Hit that bell so you know when he's streaming to get that gift.
Yeah. And it's gonna be like a week-long thing. Like I'll start the giveaway Wednesday, and then I'll actually pull the giveaway on Sunday. So like people will have time to enter.
Does it stay up?
Yeah. I have a way to do it. Yeah, I have a way to do it.
You know some people?
No, I actually have been I tested it with my past two Smite giveaways to make sure it worked correctly, and it does. So we're good to go.
Nice.
Pretty excited about that. I think I had something else I wanted to talk about that's not on the list. I thought of two things.
So did I.
You should have put that on the list.
Yeah, one of them is weapons. I did want to talk weapons real quick.
Yeah.
What weapons are you guys? Okay, I remember what it was. We have weapons. Do we want to run through what the different weapons do in the sense of like what is hammer good at, like what is bow good at, and what we're going to play? And then the second part of this is going to be our thoughts on what we might get out of Void and Dagger.
I have not looked up anything into Void and Dagger.
No, there's nothing on.
Well, there's nothing.
There's nothing.
There's
nothing.
There's
sure
nothing
there's
to look
something.
into.
Okay, but my
I'm
point
sure
being
there's
is,
something.
do we want to like theorize what
kind
Void
of
and Dagger may
debuffs?
be?
Yeah.
And
I
then
really hope there's no stealth mechanic. That's all I have to say.
I hope so.
Really,
I hope
really
not
hope
either.
there's no stealth mechanic.
I think
Stealth mechanics just tend to ruin games because and like they could be executed so well. It's just games miss the mark. And like I'd love to see Amazon try it. I really just if they do it, I want it done on a PvE. I don't want it done on live.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will say I expect Dagger to be high mobility.
Yeah.
And I'm assuming I think it's gonna be bleeds.
I think there's gonna be a lot of bleeds, maybe some poison thrown in there.
And
I
crits.
think it's gonna be poison, not bleed. Mainly because the rapier is gonna be bleeds. The rapier is mainly bleeds.
But I think one side. So you know how we usually get the two trees. I think one side's gonna be bleeds, one side's gonna be poison.
Yeah.
I feel they don't typically do both. Like I don't know if you.
No, I did. We
I'm
went through it
wrong.
yesterday. Yeah.
Maybe I'm wrong, but the themes when it comes for people that don't know, every single weapon has two trees.
Mm-hmm.
One is centered.
The left tree.
One is centered what feels to be around group damage, AoE damage.
Yep.
Or just single target damage, while the other side is focused around single target damage or mobility or control.
Yeah.
Except for musket, Pepe left. That's
Okay,
only single target.
no.
Well, musket kind
Okay,
of has control and
Okay.
it has single target damage. It's just
let's stick on the topic
Stuff.
of what do we think Void and Dagger are going to be. I thought Void was going to be more control. I thought it was going to be control like similar to Ice Gauntlet, but I think like maybe we get some more of the like how we have Maelstrom on Axe, like something more like that
Yeah,
where it's like
I
like-
think we can. Go
you know how Ice Gauntlet's like very much like a line control. Like we have the one like snow AoE.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if we're gonna get something that's a little bit different. That's not just a slow. Like maybe it's like a debuff in the sense of like armor pin, like it debuffs armor.
Armor
So-
penetration could be interesting.
I don't know if they're going to. From what I can tell, right, the Ice Gauntlet has a blocking thing. I
Yeah,
don't know whether they wanted that specific to just Ice Gauntlet or whether the Gauntlet weapons are all going to have some sort of blocking mechanic. And if they do, typically, and the Ice Gauntlet is included, I would say they're all going to have like some tanking stuff associated with it.
Yeah.
So if it
I could
is
see
a
that.
gauntlet and they're going to keep that theme of like gauntlets have like it can be used for tanking, I could definitely see the armor pen thing working. I could definitely see them doing CCs. I don't know if it's going to be. I feel
think-
like they would be pointed and laughed at for like just copy pastaing if they put some
Yeah.
sort of gravity on it.
no, I don't.
That's
Even
what
if
I
it's
was
like
gonna
a
say.
slight pull.
No, I don't think
Yeah,
it's gonna be
I
like
think we
gravity.
can-
I meant like the same like visual, like you know how that the visuals like that purplish effect. I'm expecting the abilities to have something like that. Not be a
Yeah,
grav
it's
wall.
a
My
void-
bad. I did.
It's a void gauntlet.
I think we can look to see like some ability that has likeness to Gravwell.
Yeah.
Maybe not do the exact same thing, but maybe like an AoE debuff of some sort that like kind of forces you to clump together. Maybe like, you know, an AoE wall, maybe.
I
Cages them
wonder if they're
in,
going to
something like
introduce
that.
like fear or terror as a mechanic. Not
Yeah.
That could
terror
be
as in
interesting.
like it's like a stun, but
Right,
if you get
yeah.
hit, it gets removed.
I do think
Yeah.
like I think that you know what else we might see? We might see a silence out of it. Now that I think about it, that's an interesting
be dope.
CC.
I'd love to have a silence.
I think that'd be kind of
Yeah.
sick.
I think that would just increase the skill cap so much more.
Yeah, I definitely, like I said, I definitely don't see a fear as in like you cause targets to flee. I definitely see like a terror where you cause targets to like shake and fear. It pretty much acting as a stun or rather an incapacitate.
Hold on, can I
Yeah,
make
so,
you
like-
can I make you mad real quick?
No,
Okay, what about a float mechanic?
that'd be fun.
Shout
That
out
made
to-
me mad, not him.
No, no, it's the it was supposed to be the meme from Guild Wars 2 because like Necros are
Oh.
getting like a 10+ man float ability.
I was gonna say, I would rather not see floating wizards in
I'm
my
sorry,
wars.
what
Thank you
game
very
is
much.
that?
Yeah, you,
That
like
doesn't
dead
s- that
Yeah,
doesn't
what's
sound
Guild
like
Wars
a
2?
very...
DED
That
game.
doesn't sound like a very good PvP game. That sound,
Yeah,
like it
it's
sounds
not.
like a game that has a pretty world-class combat system, but it's just falling so short because of lack
Yep.
of development.
Yeah,
Anyway,
You'd be correct.
moving on. That's not
I-
New World.
No.
New World I have hope for.
Yes, I do think. I think we could see. I think a silence. I think some type of maybe like armor degradation or something like that on enemies.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I like that idea.
I do think.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I feel like Dagger because it's dual wield. It has to have some type of mobility
Is it?
mechanic.
Is
Yeah.
it confirmed?
Yes,
Yeah,
it is
yeah,
dual wield.
it's confirmed dual wield, yeah. And well, at least in the concept art, there was 2 daggers, right?
I feel like one. I feel like they're gonna stick to. I feel like it's gonna be like a poison, like you tip your daggers in poison, and it's like a duration buff. You know how like,
Yeah.
with the rifle, it's like, oh, you load fire ammunition, but
Yeah,
instead
powder
of just
shot.
instead of being one shot, it's gonna be like for X duration, your daggers bleed or poison. I don't think it's
Yeah.
gonna be bleed. I feel like they'd be doubling down too much on the bleeds, because there's
Yeah.
there's a lot of weapons that bleed. I feel and not enough that poison. I also would like to see them include a heal cut of some sort in the game,
That'd be
and I
kind of
would
sick.
like to see it on poison.
Oh, like a disease debuff, like the enemies give you.
Yeah.
Almost.
Well, I think
I mean,
you know.
that
I
could
didn't
be
get-
interesting.
I didn't get hit by my enemies, so
Okay.
Okay.
Alright. I think
I'm
maybe
a
like a
six-year-old.
maybe like a weekend type ability would be interesting too.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like I just don't see them going all for like the complete dot. Like if anything, I could
No.
see it be like you dip
It's
your
gonna be
daggers
like-
in poison, and then like you increase your attack speed. Similar to the hatchet
Yeah.
because it's dual wield, but better functioning because it's dual wield.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I
I feel
could
like
definitely see the other one being like the other tree being like a mobility one. I definitely
Yeah.
don't see them having it be like low mobility.
no, it's gonna have
So-
to. I think it's gonna be. I think you're gonna be zooming.
Oh my god! What if you get a blink? Oh no! My game's gonna
Oh
be ruined.
god.
My game's gonna be ruined. I'm only gonna be playing dagger and bow. Oh
did-
no!
We do.
Literally
Oh,
playing Hunter
no.
class. Literally playing the Ranger and Crowfall, by the way.
Yeah.
Daggers and
You know,
bows.
I played the Ranger and Crowfall, and oh no, wait, no, I didn't. I played.
No,
the
you did
other
not. You played
Druid.
Druid, which was really like a necro. Yeah, we know. All right, moving on.
Imagine class fantasy, man.
Do we? So do we want to go back over weapon weapon archetypes for like sword and everything, or do we just want to talk about?
We can do general, like general. Like if you wanna get more in depth information, God brain. You can visit like the spreadsheet that you have or whatever.
Yeah,
it
I was
is.
gonna say
Yeah.
I'm probably just gonna put the spreadsheet in the description, so like if people want to go check that out, they can. I think I didn't get to finish the musket build because I had to leave last night. But like honestly, just if
That's
you're playing
also fine.
if you're playing PvP, just don't play musket and you'll be fine.
Yeah.
Because
If you're
musket's
playing-
garbage.
Alright. I gotta defend musket, even though I didn't
It's-
like
no,
use it
it's
myself.
okay.
I've seen it and I've felt it hurt my ass.
Yeah.
But,
Oh yeah, if you get
It's
headshot
like-
by powder burn, you're fucked.
No, you're not fucked. You just hide behind
take
the
a lot.
corner.
Can we talk about the fact that I just want to take the sniper ability because it gives you a 3x zoom and it gives you 15% increase to headshots, and I just want to sit there in the back where no one's paying attention until I get ran at someone with
And
daggers
snipe people.
and
Well, you
snipe
know-
people.
Well, with the rifle, you can actually use it while prone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's no other weapon that you can use while
Yeah.
prone.
Yeah. I mean, like I'm probably gonna play. We
We forgot to mention this. In the game, funny story. There is standing, crouching, and prone.
Mm-hmm.
Each one shortens the radius in which your health bar and nameplate is visible.
Yeah.
To a point where if you are prone and you are in the bush and somebody walks through your bush, they will
cannot
not
see
see your nameplate.
Yep.
That is how the
Camouflage.
sneaking in New World works, and it actually makes sense to dye your armor to match the environment you're fighting in. So if you go in the snowy
Right.
biome, don't bring your green armor. Bring some white armor. If you can dye it white. If you're in, I think there's like a really like watery area, or like a swampy area, bring dark greens.
Yeah.
Like dye.
If you wanna get that
actually means
sweaty.
something.
If you really wanna get that
is
sweaty.
True. If you want to get that sweaty, but who doesn't want to get sweaty? This game is gonna be so good for the sweaty
Yeah.
PvPers.
I feel
Sure.
like if you can get away with like chilling prone, musket's gonna be sick.
No, like Blaze. I told you. No, I didn't tell you. We have this friend. His name is Jacob,
Oh,
otherwise
god.
known as
Yeah,
Shinigami.
sneaky snake boy.
Sneaky Pete is what I will call him from
Sneaky
now on.
Pete.
He is known in our group of friends from ye olden days, because I've known
Mhm.
Blaze forever.
Too long.
Too long. He should hate me by now, but he hasn't, so we're gonna roll with it for as long as I can.
Yeah.
Anyway, we used to play PUBG, and me and Blaze
Oh,
used to get
God.
into fights a lot.
Here we go.
And Jacob would be the last alive. What does Jacob do? He goes prone in a
In a bush.
in the middle of a field where there's like no other bushes nearby. And me and Blaze are spectating him. What happens? 4 people run on top of him. Don't even
And
realize
they don't
he's
see
there.
him. Yep.
Don't even realize he's there.
That's
Me and
just
Blaze threw
PUBG.
our hands up. Me and Blaze threw our hands up in disbelief. Well, no. See, that's the thing. Me and Blaze have done that. We get shot instantly in the head.
Yeah, instantly.
Instantly. Like,
Actually,
zero hesitation.
I think I have the clip. I think I have the clip of
You
it.
do have the clip. I've seen the clip recently.
I
Oh my
I
God.
think, and he almost won that game. He almost team wiped them.
Yeah, he almost. Oh my God, I wanted to scream. But I have pulled in New World the Jacob trademark pending.
Yeah.
That is definitely a move that you can do in the game, and
Yeah.
man, is it going to be helpful.
Yeah, I do think we did crap on Musket a lot yesterday, but I do think Musket does have a place. I just think it's gonna be very hard to pull off.
It's
It's
gonna
not
be
in
open world
Wars.
PvP. It's not gonna be in Wars. In
Yeah.
Wars, like where you don't have like a solid objective, and you can just fight players, Musket will shine.
Right.
Hence, open world PvP. But in the Wars, like too much of your group, your entire squad, your entire platoon, whatever it's called, you have to be working toward that objective of capturing a fort or defending the fort. If you have one person that's not able to contribute major AoE damage or major crowd control or just major sustain and tankiness, you can't, like, it's just rough. It's rough on the group. Like, even one person that's not able to contribute is rough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's gonna be one of those things like where if you're playing down a person, like you're gonna feel it.
Yeah.
Like you're going to. Okay, so let's just do like a brief overview of each weapon real quick. And like I said, I'll post the builds. I will say this: do not follow the numerical order we posted. We just made the builds and we did not think about the numeric
We did them
order.
in order. Yeah, we did them in order.
No, we did not.
Yeah, we did.
I did not.
Oh.
Like in the sense of what, like ability 1, ability 2. I did not do in that order.
Oh,
Yeah,
and like
yeah,
the
yeah.
points that are spent
Yes,
in the tree.
yes.
I don't think you really can. Like when you start, so
I mean, no, you can in the builder.
when you
I just
no.
don't-
When you level your weapon, you're gonna be resetting the points on it so much to like.
Yeah,
in
it
the
doesn't
beginning,
matter.
You're just taking abilities for having abilities.
Yeah.
You're not gonna be taking abilities with like, oh, I get this one later. Let me save the points or spend them like in one
Right.
spots.
I agree.
So
Yeah.
like you're gonna be respecking your weapons really early on, often, and like I think
Oh,
it's
for sure.
Till level 10 it's free, right?
Yeah.
Till level 10 of each weapon.
Yeah, level
I
10.
thought it was 20.
No.
Or are you talking about
No.
for
It
weapons?
could-
Weapons.
for weapons.
Okay, yeah. I was like, it's level 20 for attributes, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
Each weapon you get free respecs up until level 10, or up until after 10. After 10 you start having to pay azoth. It's not much. It becomes a bit much.
yeah. But by that time, you should already have your
250.
trees designated to what you want, so it shouldn't be
Exactly.
horrible.
So let's talk about sword shield first.
Yeah.
Buzz,
It's
these
mainly
one.
just your. It's mainly just your standard like sword and board tanky,
Yeah.
but also can do a little bit of damage if you read into the passives. Like that's the thing with the weapons in this game. There's loads of passives that you can take advantage of that
And you
will and you 110% should will
Oh, yeah.
incrementally increase your damage like tenfold. Like one
Significantly,
passive will
yeah.
be like, hey, headshots deal 20% more damage. Another one, hey, fully charged heavy attacks give you 30% more damage. And then that stacks
also,
with
some
another
of them are-
30%.
Some of the passives are better than elite abilities. We'll talk about that later.
That's
We'll get there. We'll get there. It's
my
fine.
heart hurts.
So we have sword. Like I said, sword and board.
Sword and board standard tank.
Yeah.
with some
Rapier.
damage.
Pretty high damage and good CC, right?
It's extremely high damage, but if you spec it for extremely high damage, you can't use it for PvP.
Yep.
Because
Yeah.
the abilities themselves, like, you don't get the block that also stuns your attacker. You
Mhm.
don't get the hypermobile dash. You don't get the low cooldown, like, sidestep. There's a lot you don't get.
Yeah. I mean, the weapons is sick. Like repost is just really good. Flourish and finish. I mean, it's a good weapon. It it has a lot of different playability. Where like as some of the weapons that we talk about, like hatchet, like it's literally like one play style, and that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Fire.
like how you used hatchet instead of musket.
I did. Fire staff. Couple different ways to play it. You can play it as like the group and deal with that, or you can go more damagey as well. But overall, it's your typical like fire mage.
It's your typical fire mage go boom.
Yeah.
You either bomb the hell out of things at a range, or you bomb the hell out of things in melee.
Life staff is OP. It's broken. Yep. It's really good. You need people in your groups running it. The heals are insane. It gives you fortify. There's 2 different builds that we messed with last night. One of which was like light attacks heal when they pass through allies, but then you can also, if you have like a bigger someone in the ranged group that wants to play life staff, you can go mending touch, which gives heavy attacks a way to debuff allies. It takes a full debuff off, and then you can also do heavy attacks give your increased healing by 10%. So like, it's crazy. Like life staffs is so good.
It is. It's insane.
There's many builds to use with the light staff, but it's your typical life staff. It's your typical healer weapon. You have
it is, but it does
have your buffer abilities, and then you have your raw heal abilities.
Yeah.
And sometimes with certain builds, with some of the ones we were theory crafting that we will have available, you can take advantage of both worlds. Not necessarily on the same low cooldown, but you still get big heals, big buffs.
It definitely has some good variability to it. I feel like for a healing, for it being the only healing weapon currently in the game, I think it has good variability for that. Bow, I'll let you talk about it, Buzz, because you love the bow.
Don't play it. I say that in a joking yet serious term. This game, projectiles are not kind. You kind of have to be really good at your shot.
Yes.
If you can sense early that you are not good at your shot,
do not play it.
I don't want to say don't play it, but just give yourself a certain level, and if you haven't gotten better with your shots, consider swapping weapons temporarily. Just until you get better with how like movement is in the game, with how like the position of like height on enemies is to hit their weak spots or whatever it is. Because like with a lot of games, like, or rather unlike a lot of MMOs, you don't just target something and then your shots hit it.
Yeah, you have to aim.
Actually do the aim. It's as if you're in a first-person shooter, except you have a lot of travel time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you don't get that automatic projectile tracking like other games would have. You definitely. I wouldn't say it takes a better player, because I've seen some morons play it well, to say the least.
I mean, it definitely takes lower ping though, for sure.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a weapon where if you have high ping, try to stick with like fire staff. It has similar projectile things, but
it's a lot less forgiving.
Yeah,
a lot more forgiving.
Yeah, it's way more forgiving.
I was gonna say, and Bo arguably has one of the worst elite abilities in the game, which is
it only has one elite ability. What are you talking about?
Because the other one is leg shots cause 10% slow, and if you're aiming for your opponent's leg, you have bigger problems. All right, so moving on, Warhammer. I think it feels good. Has like really good.
So good.
Has really good like AOE damage.
It's great regular damage too. Yeah, exactly.
Like it just feels good. I think you have like different things you could do here. I think the weapon just feels good. I don't think there's much to talk about. It's just a giant hammer, and you smack people with it, and that feels good.
It does very hammer-like things. Like Blaise said, it has a lot of damage if you choose to go that route, if you choose to go those passives. It also has what most people in PvP will utilize it for, a ton of CC, and some of it at quite a distance.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and like I will say, like the bigger weapons in the game, like Warhammer, and we'll talk about Great Axe in a bit. Like they feel like you're swinging like a big weapon.
Oh yeah.
Musket. Do we want to talk about musket?
I'd say it's worth it.
I think Trapper actually is kind of sick if you want to go that route.
Trapper, you need to run Trapper if you're gonna do PvP.
Yeah.
Like that, no questions asked. You need to do Trapper, and if you're doing War PvP, I'm still on the fence about this. I don't think you take the Trapper ultimate skill, like the ultimate passive.
Which one? Double trapped?
Yeah, the one where like you hit
have two
enemies
active
for
traps?
20%. No. Like the master skill.
No, you don't. You take the other one. Snipers is better.
You don't go the Trapper build.
But in
Like,
open world
when
PvP,
use
you
musket,
100%. Yeah, like in open world PvP, PvP, I think you
just
take
snipe.
yeah.
You can do the Trapper build, but it relies your enemies to come to you.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
your enemies 100%
Well, I mean-
will, because it's PvP, but if you're going to be using a musket, you might as well take advantage of the range.
Yeah.
That's true.
All right, hatchet. You just pick the berserk
If
tree.
you don't have a brain, use hatchet.
Yep.
Yeah. I don't like hatchet because it bothers me that it's a one-handed weapon.
Single wield.
Yeah. Like it just I just can't get over it. I just don't understand. And like the throwing tree, just don't, please. I mean, it probably feels cool, but like it
I've been told that hatchet, like the throwing hatchet variant, is good for like if you're using a spear.
Oh yeah, I believe
and
that.
you're using hatchet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like, cause spear has a lot of up close stuff
Mhm.
that you can use with it, but and then you can use hatchet for the range. I definitely would not.
I just no.
The
Just use
melee
spear.
mode for hatchet, like you and you spend literally every single point on the melee side. You don't spend a single point on the range.
Yeah. Just buy all the melee traits and you're good to go.
Yeah. And you'll learn exactly like I'm just gonna call them keystones because that just feels like the best term for them.
Yeah.
The keystone perk for the hatchet is you get to defy death for 3 seconds. You just become immune to death, and then during that time you can pop your heal, which heals you for more based off of your missing health.
Yeah.
So it's an extremely good weapon for people who
Yeah, it is.
let's say on their other weapon they go in as fast as possible, do some damage. Let's say they get really in trouble.
Let's say they run into you with a bow.
Yeah, swap the hatchet. Boom. Pop
Yep.
your heal. Boom. You're
good to go.
You're swagging, as they would say. They
All right,
wouldn't say it, but
Great Axe. Great Axe is
It's a
interesting.
meme. It's a meme. It
Which
is
is
a
why
great meme, but it's a
It
meme.
is a meme, but it feels so good. You can charge. A lot of people like Reap. I'm not a huge fan of it. I don't like pulling enemies towards me. I think Maelstrom's is better, or Gravity Wells is better.
Yeah.
Charge feels good. Execute feels good. Whirlwind, I guess, is okay. I just don't like it. If you're a spin to win person, like have fun. And same thing
It's
with
just not
Maelstrom.
good.
But like Gravity Well feels so good that's why
Plus,
I
it
like
does an
it.
explosion of damage at the end. Great Axe just has so much damage in its kit.
It does.
It's
It's just insane. And I don't think
I was playing with I leveled most of my experience in New World with bow and spear, and then it got to the point where it's like, I'll try Great Axe. So I got strength gear. I restatted for strength. my auto attacks were already doing double the damage with the same level weapon.
Yeah, I don't
Because of
understand.
how many passives that Great Axe has.
Great Axes is so
Yeah.
good, and people were like, being like, "Oh, it's hammer all the way," and I'm like, "But Great Axe feels like kind of good." I don't know. I like it.
Don't
Ice
forget the keystone of Great Axe, the one that we just chose in
Yeah.
the what's it called?
Bloodlust, yeah.
If you're looking at an enemy,
Mhm.
you get haste, which is
Yep.
movement speed.
Yep. Super
So
sick.
people can't run from you, and you have a charge. So
You
people
literally just
can't
chase them
run
down.
from you.
Yeah.
Ice Gauntlet. I think it's fun. I think Ice Gauntlet feels good in groups. It has a lot of CC. It has a invuln that feels good. I don't think, from like a solo player experience, like you could take some of the other abilities. I just don't think it feels as good in solo play.
Which one?
Ice Gauntlet. Like I played a lot of Ice Gauntlet, and like I like it, but like I don't think it feels super good.
I mean, I didn't play it, so I can't say.
Yeah,
But I know
I
a lot
think-
of people who played Firestaff Ice Gauntlet
Yeah.
in like solo play, and they said that it was fine.
Yeah, I'm sure it was with Firestaff because Firestaff is stupid.
Yeah. So like they would use Ice
I was
Gauntlet
running-
to CC,
yeah.
and then Firestaff to explode.
I was using Great Axe Ice Gauntlet.
Alright,
and, like, I was using-
you
so I
were
was CC.
combining two different stat pools, so I'm
I know,
already
I
gonna
know.
tell you that's
Well, no.
why you failed.
I'm aware of that.
Yeah.
I was also just wanting to test items. Like that's all it was about. Like I was just wanting to test different stuff out. No, I get that. I think if you're wanting to CC, it feels really good. If you're not wanting to
Oh, yeah.
CC,
Also, Ice Block.
yeah, Ice Block is insane.
Also, Ice Block.
Spear's fun. You get a javelin
My favorite
throw.
weapon, yeah.
Solid weapon. Absolutely
Very solid weapon. So good in solo questing PvE.
Javelin feels good. You literally just like take the spear and launch it at stuff.
Yeah.
Sweep feels super good. Cyclone, it is the problem with Cyclone as far as like a PvP standpoint is it slows enemies and pushes them back. So like if you're having like a CC chain by your group, you don't want them to be pushed out of the CC chain. So that's one of the reasons of like you don't want to take it. Perforate, interesting, but Skewer just I think it's just better. And a Volt Kick would be good for PvE, just not so much for PvP. But this is one of the only weapons that we didn't take one of the elites.
True.
Which
The
one?
the passives are just so good.
Yeah, the passives spear. The passives are just really, really good. So
Can you,
that's kind of a breakdown. I think
can
spear
you
just
link me
feels
the
good.
link? Can you link me the link? Not the screenshot, the actual link.
Yeah.
Because oh right. Yeah.
That's kind of the rundown on weapons, and that's kind of at this point I think we've covered. If you're going to be playing New World and you wanted to know some stuff,
we literally have it in the one you linked me.
What are you
Because we
talking
took
about?
off the no deadly distance on the thrower.
I still have it up. Hold on. Let me check.
I literally clicked on.
Oh,
one
I
you
didn't
just
do the
linked me.
spear one.
What are you talking about, bro?
Blaze, I clicked on the link for spear, and we literally have the Grandmaster on the right side. 10% damage buff.
Oh, yeah.
What are you talking about? We don't.
I don't have it on my screen right now. It's not here.
Well, your screen is wrong.
Okay.
Get hecked, nerd.
Okay. Anyways, I could care
Yeah.
less. Moving on. At this point, I think we've covered like pretty much a huge introduction to New World. So if, like you're getting ready to play tomorrow, you want some ideas of like what's going on and things to come, what's happening. I think we've covered all the information. And was there anything else you wanted to add before random question time?
How do we feel like I had this question in the back of my head while playing the betas.
Mhm.
And I never got to ask anyone else this question. How do you guys feel about the actual like NPC side quests? Do you think they're worth it? Are they not?
I mean, it's an extra quest, which means extra XP, and if I can fit it into my loop, then yeah.
So like, my first MMO experience was Guild Wars 1, and it kind of set the bar high when it came to like story development, and like some people are like, Guild Wars 1 had shit story. It's like, no. I mean, it might have been predictable, but it was a fully fleshed out story. MMOs have gone away from that. Now it's like, oh, we're hiding this story element for the next expansion. Like they're planning their expansions based around story, or rather, they're planning story based around expansions. And I feel like other games sell it too much. I'm kind of glad that New World's story kind of sort of takes a back foot. Like, you can completely pay attention to the story, and it actually is kind of cool.
Yeah.
I personally like it. But if you don't want to pay attention to it, you can leave it in the back foot and just PvP brain your face off.
I was going to say, hold on. There's an anomaly here.
Yeah, he likes the story.
Like the story?
And he had to. That's because he didn't have to read all of it, though.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I didn't read it. I just listened to it.
Anomaly solved.
Audiobooks, bro.
Yeah. All right, continue.
But no, I agree. Like if I'm feeling like doing those NPC side quests, and I can fit it in the loop that I'm doing, then 100% I'm gonna do them. But like other than that, like you could avoid them and be fine.
Gotcha. So like if you can fit them on your path, they're worth to do. But other than that, avoid them.
Yeah, because like I think the big thing like is at least if you're trying to optimize your time to get to max level.
There's definitely better things to do other than side quests.
Yes.
For XP.
Fishing.
Okay.
I'm just kidding. Just fishing feels good. Like I'll be fishing just to like chill from time to time.
You're gonna get to 60 purely off of fishing.
Yeah, dude. They're like, oh, where's Blaze?
I bet you someone's gonna do that, dude.
I'm just out here, I'm hitting the lake, just casting my reel.
There will be people that only level off of X crafting. There will be people.
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
It's like Rule 34, but better.
Oh, God.
Okay.
And that's...
Alright.
Well, we're canceled.
Anyways.
They just took me off. So...
Look that at home, kids.
I got a really easy random question for the day.
Alright.
What weapons are you guys planning on running come tomorrow? Which ones are you...
For leveling?
Yeah.
Stuff?
Yeah.
All of them?
Okay. What is your main two weapons going to be, Buzz?
Your main setup.
What I'm going to play with at the end game, it's going to be bow, rapier, spear.
Okay.
Maybe I dibble dabble and hatchet. Probably not. But like my approach to it is, I'm going to level all the weapons early.
Yeah.
Like, very, very early. That way I get like the most weapon XP while I'm leveling.
Yeah.
Mainly because later in the game, the mobs that actually give you XP will only come from the high level zones. So you won't be able to go back with a really low weapon on easy mobs. You'll have to kill high level mobs with really low level weapons.
Yeah, with
which
garbage.
is going to be really hard.
With garbo weapons.
It's not hard, it just takes time. Like, you'll just be slashing at them forever. And burning through health pots like nobody's business. But that's why I'm gonna
so it's fine.
Yeah, I'm gonna be leveling through my weapons. I'll probably pick like 5, level through them.
Yeah.
And then stop there. But I don't know. I really want to pick all of them, but I know it deep down inside I'm just gonna use the bow and the spear and the rapier.
Yeah.
I talk all this game about leveling them all. I'm not gonna level them all. That's too much effort.
I got 4 that I'm probably gonna run. My main leveling PvE build is gonna be heavily focused on musket and spear for sure.
Okay.
But I will dabble in great axe and maybe a little bit of fire staff. For PvP.
I'm in debate because I think I'm gonna have to see what everybody else is playing in our group first before I like settle down on what I'm gonna play, because like I'm cool with like filling some stuff in. I'm
Yeah.
really wanting to try out daggers, and I want to see what Void Gauntlet's about.
Oh yeah. I think everyone wants to dabble in those a little bit
but,
just because
like,
they're new.
I'm not sure if I want to go like Fire Staff Ice Gauntlet or if I want to do like Spear and something. Like Spear and Dagger or
Yeah.
something like that. I don't know.
mean that like you have to remember there's gonna be some new like Fire Staff Ice Gauntlet type builds with the release of Void Gauntlet.
Yep.
And
I think
there's
Fire
also
Staff
gonna
Void
be
might be
some
kinda
new
sick.
like Rapier Fire Staff
Yeah.
kind of builds with daggers coming out.
I realized also one thing we didn't talk about during all this, and I remembered it now, so at least that's good. Stamina is important because you have limited amounts of dodges. And once it runs out, it takes a lot of time to regen. It just doesn't like regen in 2 seconds and give you another dodge. So like you definitely have to pay attention to your stamina and how often you're dodging.
I guess another thing then we should talk about equip load really quick and how that affects how you play.
Yeah, weight does.
Dark Souls mechanics.
Yeah, easy peasy. It's like Dark Souls. Your weight, like, hinders you from dodging more the more weight you carry.
Yeah, so like if you're light, you get a full dodge roll. If you're medium, you get kind of a dash, and if you have heavy armor on, don't press the dash button.
Yeah.
Press it.
They also adjusted all the armor loads, so to speak. They adjusted them down. So like to meet light level gear, but having like mixed of mediums, like you can only have your helmet medium or your gloves or your boots.
Yeah, they did. They did that in the open beta, right?
Yeah. Like in the closed beta, all you had to do was like you can have all medium and then just your chest piece light.
Yeah.
And you'd be fine, but now it's like you have to have all light and then one piece that isn't the chest medium.
You also get damage boosts or boosts or like defense boosts. Depending on what carry load you have. So I think light was like 20% damage boost or something like that.
Yep.
Medium was like 10% damage boost and something else. Heavy was just
medium was 10% damage boost and nothing else. Light was 20% damage boost and 10% increased damage.
Right. Yeah.
And then heavy was
like 20% increase or decreased damage taken.
And then it was like CC reduction as well.
Yeah.
And then we'll also see like attributes in play, because every 20 attribute points you get
every 50.
Every 50 attribute points you get another like passive. So that's stuff to think about when you're building, but I don't think I think that gets way too detailed for right now, because that gets into 100%. Like builds entirely. All right, I don't have anything else to add. I think that's all I got. Yeah. You guys got any shout outs?
No, I haven't really played many games this week, so I don't have any random person to shout out.
Please follow, subscribe, and like, and hit that notification bell on twitch.tv/BlaiseMcBaine. Don't forget to do that.
Yo, I have a shout out. I have a shout out for the 230 plus follows from Hotspot this week.
No, it's not even Hotspot. It's
Gun. Oh no. I got more Hotspot follows tonight.
Oh, you got more
while during
Hotspots?
this. Yeah. So you know.
Oh god.
Yeah. You know, fun times.
Any primers?
Yeah. Other than that, if you're a primer and you want to be a primer pal, you know where to use your prime subs at. And we'll see you. Hopefully, I won't be on tomorrow for the like launch day because of wedding anniversary, but stream will be live on Wednesday night for New World. So I'll see y'all then. Hope y'all enjoy it, and hope y'all have a good time. We're out of here. Peace.
Later.
Later.